Good day, senior high school students, and welcome back. I am your online math tutor, Ma'am Karin. I am so glad that you are here to join us in the next lesson for general mathematics. In this video, we will be talking about on how to represent real-life situations using rational functions. Also, it will show you how to incorporate rational function into a problem. What is a rational function? It is a function of the form f of x equals p of x all over q of x, where p of x in the numerator of the function and q of x in the denominator are polynomial functions. Take note also that the q of x in the denominator should not be equal to 0. Kapag naging 0 yung value ng q of x, that's the time that the function is now undefined. There are 4 steps on representing real-life situations. Step number 1, you have to answer the question, what is asked? In here, you have to determine what the problem requires you to do. You have to read and understand the problem and identify ano ba yung unknown sa problem, ano ba yung hinihingi ng problem. For step number 2, what is given? You have to identify the given data in the problem. So, hahanapin mo dito kung ano-ano ba yung mga numerical data na nasa problem and ano-ano ba yung mga conditions. Step number 3, what operation or operations to be used? There are 4 basic operations in mathematics. These are addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. So from those operations, you have to decide what are you going to use as required by the problem. And step number 4, write a number sentence. You have to represent the problem using a function notation. A function na pwedeng mo magamit or formula na pwede mong magamit given the problem. Let's have example number 1. Jack is running around the school oval. Represent his speed as a function of the time it would take him to run 150 meters in the track. Use the formula for speed. Ang given na formula dito ay speed equals distance over time. Ito yung pwedeng gamitin mong formula to represent Jack's speed as a function of the time. Take note, we have here the given 150 meters, which is the distance na kailangan takbuhin ni Jack. For step number 1, we have to answer what is asked. Ano ba yung hinihingi ng problem? In here, we have to represent Jack's speed as a function of the time it would take him to run 150 meters in the track. That is your step number 1. For step number 2, same problem. What is the given? You have to identify ano yung mga numerical data na nasa problem and also the condition. Ang nandito lang ay 150 meters. Since na ang unit of measurement na nandito ay meter, ibig sabihin, 150 meters is the value of the distance, which can be substituted in the variable d. So 150 meters is the Jack's needed distance to run in the track. Step number 3, what operation to be used? Ang given na formula na nandito ay S, which is the speed, equals D or distance all over T, which is the time. It's very obvious that the operation in here is division. For step number 4, we have to write a number sentence, which is the last step. para masagutan natin yung speed as a function of the time. Let f of t be the function that will represent Jack's speed. So para magkaroon tayo ng function notation, let us represent s or speed as a function of t or f of t. Here, t is the time and d is the distance. Sinabi ko na kanina na meron namang given na sa problem na d, which is 150 meters. Given the problem, this one, we have to substitute ang s or speed ay f of t na for the function notation. Ang d ay 150 meters, that is the distance, at ang t is the time. So that would be f of t equals 150 all over t. That is the function of the time it would take him to run 150 meters in the track. Ito na yung pwede mong magamit na function or formula kung meron ka ng given for the value of t. Example number 2. There are only 3 weeks remaining before your crush's birthday, and you are planning to surprise her with a wonderful gift. To do that, you decided to save money each week before the said occasion. During the first week, you saved S plus 99 all over 4S pesos. In the second week, you saved S plus 149 all over 5S pesos. And in the third week, you saved S plus 239 all over 6S. The question is, what function will represent the total amount you saved within 3 weeks? For our step number 1, you have to answer the question, what is ask? Ano ba yung hinihingi sa problem? Ano ba yung tanong sa problem? In here, what function will represent the total amount you saved within 3 weeks? So, ang hinihingi ng problem ay i-represent mo yung total amount na na-save mo within 3 weeks. Of course, using rational function. Step number 2, same problem, what is given? Yung mga data na nandito ay yung na-save mo nung first week, which is S plus 99 all over 4S pesos. Yan yung savings mo. Sa second week, yung savings ay S plus 149 all over 5S. And sa third week naman, yung savings ay S plus 239 all over 6S. For step number 3, what operation to be used? Ang magiging keyword mo na dyan, yung total amount. Pag ang pinag-uusapan natin ay totality or ang hinihingi yung total amount, total cost, total expenses, papasok na dyan yung operation na addition. Step number 4, write a number sentence. Let T of S be the total amount you saved in 3 weeks. Yung function notation natin ay T of S. Etong T of S ay wala namang sa problem, hindi naman nire-require ng problem na gamitin natin yung T of S. So, pwede kang gumamit ng ibang variables. Let's say, F of S, H of S, P of S. So, ang magiging function natin dito ay T of S equals yung savings ng first week, kasi tinatanong dito yung total amount you save within 3 weeks, plus yung savings ng second week, plus yung savings mo nung third week. From there, yung function natin ay T of S equals S plus 99 all over 4S plus S plus 149 all over 5S plus S plus 239 all over 6S. Para maging single term lang ito, you have to get the least common multiples, or also known as LCM, nung mga denominator. Denominator ng first term ay 4s, second, 5s, at ang sa third term naman, denominator ay 6s. You have to get the LCM. Paano ba natin makuha yung LCM or least common multiples? Let's have first the method number 1. That is by listing. Taking the denominator in the first term, 4s, denominator in the second term, 5s, and denominator in the third term, which is 6s, we have to take note the numerical coefficients in here. We have 4, 5, 6. Kung matatandaan natin, yung multiplication table, yun lang yung ipa-follow natin na pattern. For 4, those are the numbers in the multiplication table. If we do have 4 times 1, that is 4. That is the numerical coefficient. Of course, do not forget that we have the variable s in the denominator. 4 times 2 is 8. 4 times 3 is 12. 4 times 4 is 16. 4 times 5, 20. 4 times 6 is 24, and so on and so forth. So, wag kang titigil using method number 1 kung wala pang common na term sa 4s, 5s, saka sa 6s na nakuha mo. Sa 5s naman, again, using the multiplication table, and you have to include the variable s. 5 times 1 is 5, 5 times 2 is 10, 5 times 3 is 15, 5 times 4 is 20, 5 times 5 is 25, and so on and so forth. Again, wag kang titigil hanggat hindi mo nakukuha yung common sa 4s, sa 5s, and sa 6s. Multiplication table of 6s, we have 6 times 1 is 6. Do not forget the variable s. 6 times 2 is 12. 6 times 3 is 18. 6 times 4 is 24, and so on and so forth. So, yung parehong term sa 4s, 5s, and sa 6s using the method 1 by listing, ang common is 60s, 60s, 60s. So, dun ka lang titigil na sumulat ng terms dito sa 4s, 5s, and sa 6s. So, the LCM is 60s of the given 4s, 5s, and 6s. By method number 2, which is the prime factorization, again, our goal here is to make this one, the right side of t of s, as a single term. So by method number 2, we're going to get the LCM of 4s, 5s, and 6s by prime factorization. That is, sa 4s, yung prime factors nito ay 2 times 2 times s. Sa 5s naman, yung prime factors niya ay 5 times s. At sa 6s naman, yung prime factors niya ay 2 times 3 times s. So for us to get the LCM, ibababa lang natin yung 2. So kapag may kapareho na siya, ibababa mo lang. Pag walang kapareho, okay lang, ibababa mo din siya. Tapat-tapat lang siya. 3, 5, and then bababa mo lang yung s. Get the product, that is 2 times 2, that is 4, times 3 is 12, times 5, 60, times s, that we have 60s. So, pareho lang yung sagot natin using method 1 and method number 2. Ang LCM ng 4s, 5s, and 6s is 60s. So, ilalagay na natin dyan as the denominator. We have 60s, 60s, and 60s. 60s divided by 4s, that is 15. So, yung 15, i-multiply natin dun sa numerator ng 4s, which is s plus 99, plus, para naman sa second term, 60s divided by 5s, that is 12. So, yung 12 natin, i-multiply sa numerator sa second term, 12 times the quantity s plus 149, plus 60s divided by 6s, that is 10. And yung 10, i-multiply naman sa numerator ng third term. That is 10 times s plus 239. So dito, pareho na yung denominator natin, which is 60s. So you have to simplify yung mga nasa numerator. 15 times s is 15s, 15 times 99 is 1,485. Plus 12 times s is 12s, 12 times 149 is 1,788. And in the third term, 10 times s is 10s, plus 10 times 239 is 2,390. Since pareho naman yung denominator mo na 60s, pwedeng isahan mo na lang siyang isulat kasi i-add mo na yung mga nasa numerators. So, yan. Simplify. Yung magiging function notation na natin ay 37s plus 5,663 all over 60s. Ito na yung magiging function notation mo. That will represent the total amount you saved within 3 weeks. Yan, simple na siya. Example number 3. The barangay council purchased 10 all over 2 plus x sacks of rice for 50x all over 4 minus x squared pesos to be distributed to each family for the relief assistance. We are going to answer this. Letter A, what function will represent the price of each sack of rice? Letter B, suppose on the second tranche, the barangay council purchased the same number of rice, of course of the same price, and added 5 over x plus 2 boxes of canned goods for 20x plus 15 all over 4 minus x squared pesos. Represent as a function the total expenses for the second tranche. So, ang unahin na muna nating sagutan ay yung letter A. Step 1, what is ask? From here, in this question, we have to represent using rational function the price of each sack of rice. For step number 2, what is given? We have to take note that here in the problem, 10 over 2 plus x, this one will represent the number of sacks of rice. It's the total number of purchased sacks of rice. Sa cost naman, or yung kakabili dito sa total number of purchased sacks of rice, that is 50x all over 4 minus x squared, which is the total cost of the purchased sacks of rice. For step number 3, what operation to be used? Since na ang tinatanong ay yung presyo ng kada sako ng bigas, so ang gagamitin natin from the keyword each, gagamit tayo ng operation na division. For step number 4, write a number sentence. We have to identify the function notation or represent the given problem using function notation. Let R of X be the amount of rice per sack. So, ito yung ginamit natin na function notation. Pwede ka din gumamit ng ibang variables na ipapalit mo dito sa R. Para makuha natin yung amount ng bigas kada sako, so you can have here yung cost, yung kapresyohan ng bigas, yung total, all over yung total number of sacks of rice. So this is R of X all over, or R of X equals 50x all over 4 minus x squared, this is the total cost, divided by 10 all over 2 plus x. Ito naman yung total number of sacks of rice. To simplify that, we can have here, since ito yung numerator, ito naman yung denominator, for us to simplify this, 50x all over 4 minus x squared, we are going to change the operation to multiplication, and yung denominator, we are going to get the reciprocal, meaning yung 10 dito na nasa numerator sa baba, gagawin na nating denominator, at yung 2 plus x naman ay tataas na natin sa numerator. Then multiply, or baka may pwede ka nang i-cancel para mas madali. 50x, ito yung factors nito, 5x times 10, para makancel mo na yung 10 sa baba. And then, yung denominator ng 50x, which is 4 minus x squared, ang factors nito, you may use quadratic formula for you to get the factors, or just have this as like this. 2 plus x times the quantity 2 minus x. If you're going to multiply this 2, that will be equal to 4 minus x squared. So, ang pwede na nating i-cancel ay yung 10, taas, baba, cancel, and then 2 plus x, taas, baba. Yung mga natira na nating terms ay r of x equals 5x all over 2 minus x. This one is the function notation that represents the amount of rice per sack. Do not forget that in example number 3, we have still letter B. Same problem. The barangay council purchased 10 over 2 plus x sacks of rice for 50x all over 4 minus x squared pesos to be distributed to each family for the relief assistance. This is now the condition. Suppose on the second tranche, the barangay council purchased the same number of rice of the same price and added 5 over x plus 2 boxes of canned goods for 20x plus 15 all over 4 minus x squared pesos. Represent as a function the total expenses for the second tranche. For step number 1, what is asked? Given this condition, you have to represent using rational function the total expenses for the second tranche. For step number 2, what is given? Ang given, we have 50x all over 4 minus x squared. That is the total expenses for this number of sacks of rice. Another, from the condition, added condition, this is now the total expenses for the boxes of canned goods. Yan yung dinagdag natin. For step number 3, what operation to be used? Of course, from the given keyword total expenses, so we're going to use addition. Step number 4, write a number sentence. Let T of X be the barangay's total expenses for the second tranche. T of X, you can use T of X for the function notation, or you may use other variables that will replace the variable T here. T of X equals, since ang tinatanong ay yung total expenses, kunin mo lang yung cost o total cost given the purchased sacks of rice, that is 50x all over 4 minus x squared, plus, ito naman yung total cost for the additional canned goods. For us to simplify this, we have here T of X equals 50x all over 4 minus x squared plus 20x plus 15 all over 4 minus x squared. Pareho lang naman yung denominator ng first and second term. You can combine the terms in the numerator. At yung sa denominator, isahan mo lang siyang isulat. 4 minus x squared, and then in the numerator, we have 50x that will be added to 20x plus 15. T of x is equal to 70x. 50 plus 20 is 70. Then copy the variable x plus 15. All over, copy the denominator 4 minus x squared. That is the function that will represent the barangay's total expenses for the second tranche. Now, these are the complete solutions for the pretest part. In number 1, a telecom company offers a new phone for 5,000 pesos with a monthly plan of 750 pesos. Which of the following functions represent the average monthly cost of using the phone service? So, applying the 4 steps in representing real-life situations using rational functions. Step 1, represent using rational function the average monthly cost of using the phone service. For step number 2, what is given? In the problem, we have here 5,000 as the cost of a new phone. And for the monthly plan, we have here 750 pesos. For step number 3, ang tinatanong ay average monthly cost. Pwede natin gamitin division. For step number 4, writing a number sentence, you can use f of x as required in the problem. F of x, the average monthly cost of using the phone service, and x as the number of months. So we have here the formula or the function. F of x equals 5,000 plus 750x all over x. So the answer in number 1 in the pretest part is letter B. In an agriculture class, Ruth planted x plus 20 all over 2x seeds in a plot. Angel also planted 3x plus 20 all over 2x seeds in the other plot. Which of the following functions will represent the total number of seeds which Ruth and Angel had planted? For step 1, what is asked? We have to represent the total number of seeds which Ruth and Angel had planted. Step 2, what is given? For Ruth, ang tinanim niya na seeds in a plot is x plus 20 all over 2x, and kay Angel naman, ang number of seeds planted in a plot is 3x plus 20 all over 2x. For step 3, what operation to be used? In the question, we have here the keyword total number of seeds. So we have to use addition. Step 4, write a number sentence. As required in the problem, we have to use S of x as the total number of seeds which Ruth and Angel had planted. So this is our answer, and we have here letter B. Letter B is the answer in number 2. For number 3, in item number 2, Angel plowed another plot, and there she planted twice the number of the seeds that Ruth planted. On the functions below, which of them represents the total number of seeds that Angel planted? So these are the steps to be followed in representing real-life situations using rational functions. And take note here in step 3, we can use addition and multiplication. Why is that? In step 4, write a number sentence. S of x, the total number of seeds that Angel planted. From the given problem, Angel planted twice the number of the seeds that Ruth planted. So we have to take note, ilan ba yung number of seeds ni Ruth na tinanim niya sa plot? That is twice the number of the seeds na sa another plot tinanim ni Angel. So, yung kay Ruth kanina, we have x plus 20 all over 2x. Twice daw na tinanim ni Angel sa another plot. So, that will be represented as 2 times the quantity x plus 20 all over 2x. And that will be added to 3x plus 20 all over 2x, ito ay yung number of seeds na tinanim naman ni Angel dun sa first plot. So, ang tinatanong is total number of seeds that Angel planted. So, ito yung function notation. The answer is letter C. Number 4. A school organization has 20,000 budget for the culmination of their annual activity. The allotted budget will be split evenly to N committees. Which of the following will represent the amount of money that each committee will receive? So this is step 1, step 2. The given, we have 20,000 as the budget, and yung total number of committees ay represented by N, variable N. Ang operation na pwede natin gamitin ay division para malaman natin yung budget for each committee. For step 4, the number sentence will be B of N as the amount of money that each committee will receive. And take note, we have here N as the number of committees. So we have here division, 20,000 divided by N para malaman natin yung budget for each committee. And for item number 5, the problem is in item number 4, if the organization added 2 more committees for special purposes, what will be the function that will represent the amount of money that each committee will receive? For step 1, ito yung hinihingi sa problem, dinagdag lang, meron daw nadagdag na 2 committees. Sa step 2, ang given, 20,000 pa din yung budget. At ang kinaibahan lang dun sa step item number 4 ay nadagdag ng 2 committees yung dating N. Yung operation ay division pa din. That would be B of N equals 20,000 divided by N plus 2. Para malaman natin yung budget for each committee. The answer is letter C.